Ever.
Yeah.
All right. So we are live. If you see me looking like left and right, it's because as I go live, I try to share you through different groups. So I'll try and share you in the PA group, the PA wrestling group.
Yeah.
I'll try and share you there as well because I'm sure a bunch of your friends are there watching.
Yes.
But anyway, hey, this is unbelievable. I'm absolutely honored. Thanks to Will Bassett, the Bassett family, the Bassett Brothers. I've got one of them on tonight. I really appreciate you trusting your son with me this evening. But I'm sure all of you know by now who Bo Bassett is. If you have a Flow account, you've seen him on there several times. But he's only going into 8th grade next year, but he's a 7-time PA state champ. He's the USA World Team member in freestyle and Greco. He just took the freestyle and Greco titles at Pan Am's. He's a 2-time Super 32 champion, 2-time USA Wrestling National Champ. He was Sports Illustrated Kid Athlete of the Year runner-up. And I'm sure if I go on to Track Wrestling, there's like 15 more pages of what this young man has done. But first of all, I'm absolutely honored that your family trusts you with me and that you came on tonight. So thank you for coming on. And second, and congratulations on just kicking ass this weekend, man. Good for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, I've seen some of my role models on this show, so it's cool to be, come on and get to talk with you. But thank you again for the congratulations, and I hope to bring 2 more golds home in July.
Yeah, can't wait. If you don't know, he's going to Budapest for the Worlds, and we'll get into all that. Meanwhile, I'm going to click these things and get you shared all around while we're talking. But, first of all, so going into 8th grade, so what does that make you, like 13, 14, 12?
I'm 14 years old.
14.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And you have your brother is younger than you, right?
Yes, he's 12 years old, and he's going into 6th grade.
And he's a kind of a badass too, right?
He's getting a lot better. Him every single day. He takes his lumps. He gets beat up, but it definitely makes it better. And I know he's going to be a stud. So.
And if you guys don't know, I believe you guys are starting a YouTube page. I saw some posts.
Yes. Yeah, actually, we started it like 2 days ago, and I don't think many people know about it yet. But the Bassett Brothers Wrestling channel, and yeah, it's up now. So
yeah, we'll have to shout that out. So that's super cool. But
yeah,
man, so first for everyone out there, I mean, how did you get into wrestling? Were you born into it? Was it something that just was automatic? You knew it was going to happen, or did you find it on your own?
Yeah. So when I was born, I kind of got born into it a little bit. My dad wrestled when he was younger, along with my uncle. They wrestled. They liked it the whole way up through their high school careers. And then when I was like 6 years old, my dad was coaching a high school team, local high school team. He coached there for a few years, and he just loved the sport and followed it the whole way up through his life. And then I went to my first Young Guns wrestling practice when I was 6 years old, and it was super cool to see, all the future studs in the room then. I didn't know how good that room was going to be like it is now, but, guys like Spencer Lee, Jason Nolf, guys in there just scrapping it out when they were probably like my age. And that was my first ever practice. I was 6 years old. I remember it to this day. It was at the UPJ wrestling room, like 2 minutes from my house. But that was my first ever practice, and I just loved it ever since.
Just fell in love with it.
Yeah, Coach Jody, Coach John, they were always super cool with me ever since the first day I came in. And my dad and my uncle, like I said, coached high school. And then when probably around my second year of wrestling and when my brother started getting into it, he quit coaching high school and went all in on helping my brother and I. And so he's been training with us, helping us ever since. And now he recently got hired as the McCourt high school wrestling coach, where I'm going to go to high school.
Wow.
Coaching, us up through high school. So
that's really cool. And so when did the compound come about?
Yes, it was probably this summer, probably the 4th or 5th year anniversary. My dad just, like I said, he really wanted to help my brother and I and some of the guys around us, my training partners. And he just decided to open a gym. So we have our gym there. And, during COVID, it was really a blessing to us as well because, all the schools and everything like that were shut down, but we were still up and rolling. But it's really nice to have your own gym. You can go in whenever you want. But he started the compound and he franchises out. And so there's a lot of compounds around the state of Pennsylvania and a few outside of the state. But he just really wanted to help the wrestlers around and obviously my brother and I. So that's a really good asset for us. And we're there pretty much my second home. So.
Man, that's all. Now, do you ever have those days where you're like, Dad, can I just be a kid today and get an ice cream and a soda and just sit at home? Or is he like, no, that's not happening. Get your butt.
I mean, to be honest, I love the summers, obviously because you're not in school, but I love them because I am at the compound all the time. I'm at the compound pretty much all day. You know, I go home for lunch and stuff, but I love being there with all my friends. That's fun to me, working hard and just being in the room. You know, obviously, yeah, we go on my beach trip and that's really fun too, but I don't know, I just really like working hard and being in the room, and getting better at wrestling. I like, you know, watching some of my role models and seeing what they're doing and trying to add it to my wrestling and just trying to constantly get better. That's fun to me. And, you know, I'm surrounding myself with others who have the same goals and that's fun to them too. So yeah, I like to have fun outside, but
Who's that one? Who's the one like who's that one wrestler out there right now that you try to model yourself after, or you look at and go, man, that's who I want to be. I want to be the first Bo Bassett, but maybe
yes.
a little bit of the next.
Yeah, so like I said, Spencer Lee went to my wrestling club at Young Guns. So I always watched him ever since I was young. It was really cool watching him and trying to do what he does. He dominates college wrestling and soon to be in the international stage with freestyle and stuff. But probably Spencer Lee all the way up through my career. And I like to also try to get Austin DeSanto's pace. The dude wrestles so hard for 7 straight minutes. And it doesn't even look like he's tired after the match. So I try to do, you know, wrestle Spencer Lee style with Austin DeSanto's pace. And that's like the perfect combination for me.
Well, listen, you're obviously doing something right because you're winning on the largest stages that you could be on at your age, right? Because you can only do so much. You can only enter certain tournaments with the grade level you're at, right, and the age level you're at. But man, well, awesome. So tell me, you know, what does a typical day look like for the Bassett Brothers?
Yeah, so typical day in season a little bit different from now. Obviously in the summer, training for Worlds, so it's pretty I guess high volume you could say. It's pretty tough. It's a pretty tough schedule. In the summer, we definitely get a lot more workouts in. Obviously, not having to go to school all day, but a normal day in the summer. In the mornings, we like to start a little later, so we go at 9:30 so we can sleep in a little bit and make sure we're getting our rest. Some of the guys are trying to get big now, so rest is really important in growing your body. But we like to get our rest in, and so our first practice is at 9:30. We have a wrestling practice at the compound. It's Ranger Pride. It's my whole club, my high school, and all that. And then right after that, we have our powerlifting with Coach Miller, Mason, and Eric Gibson's dad. So we do that. We go home, we break for lunch. We come back at that night. We do the functional strength class, which is kind of more high-paced stuff. It's more, longevity in your muscles and being able to go for a long time, as well as getting a good lift in. And then normally I have my Young Guns practice right after that. So basically 4 or 5 a day. Sometimes in the lunch break, that break we have in the midday, I'll have one of my college guys come out. I wrestle with Brendan Howard, who was a 2-time All-American in his career at UPJ. And then I wrestle with Jacob Ely, who's still in his career at UPJ as well. He's a 1-time All-American, and he's a sophomore this year. So
So you basically start in your own club, and then you end at Young Guns.
Yeah, so like I said, I wrestle with the college guys. I think that's huge for me, just getting that college feel. They're also small, so I can wrestle with them. Brendan Howard's the 125 when he wrestled. And then the Jacob Ely guy, he's 141. And this year I think he's going to bump to 49. So.
Wow. How do you, obviously, you're right now arguably the best in the world at your grade, at your age, right? How do you feel when you go up to some of these fully developed men that are maybe your weight and your size, but they're already where you want to get to? You feel like you're able to move them a little bit? You feel like you're able to work with them a little bit?
Yeah, so it's definitely helped me. I know that wrestling college guys, I'd recommend it for anyone. I know my brother in the next few years is going to start wrestling some of the older high school guys and the college guys as he gets bigger because, man, it teaches you so much. I think they have that, I don't want to say old man strength, but like that I'm a grown man and, they have that type of strength. And they have their tricks, and so I like to learn things like that. And yeah, it's definitely tougher than wrestling a 125, kid your age, and then a 125 kid is.
At some point, they can just kind of lean on you, right?
Yeah. So at some point, they definitely use their tricks and they use their strength, and they try to beat you with that. But so tonight, actually, I got to wrestle Vincenzo Joseph. Was at Young Guns practice.
Wow.
Crazy how some of their guys just come back and roll in unexpectedly. Really good guys like that. But I got to wrestle him tonight, so that was pretty cool. But he's a stud, man. He still got it for sure.
Yeah, so what I hear is like when I've talked to different clubs around your state, right? I've talked to some on the Pittsburgh side, some on the Philly side, obviously Jody up there. Down here when somebody announces, like, I remember when CFWA a couple years ago had Knopf come in, right? They announced Knopf and people drove from like Alabama and Tennessee. There was like 350 kids. It was insane, right?
Yeah.
But then I talked to like somebody that's got a club in the middle of PA, in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and they're like, oh yeah, you can come into our club any day, and there's a guy like that. Like there's an All-American in the room, there's a champ in the room.
It's unbelievable. PA is like I would say it's the best state for wrestling, just with opportunities and stuff. I mean, like you said, it's crazy. People down south who maybe don't have, those guys every day. I mean, they drive miles and hours and hours just to see them, and then up here in PA, like I said, they just roll in unexpectedly. It's crazy.
Do you still get that? Are there still guys that you see and you're still like, oh my God, that's or
Oh yeah. So I mean, when I saw Vincenzo and I was like, wow, like he just, because like I said, he rolled in unexpectedly, and so yeah, definitely, those are your idols, and they're running your practice. It's pretty cool.
that's super cool. Yeah, I was doing an interview with a club on the Pittsburgh side, right? And I'm talking to her where we're getting, how you and I spoke before we came on, and I'm talking to her, and she's like, "Hey, 1 second, I'm gonna get my I think it was like my brother-in-law or what she said. I forget what she said, but she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get this my brother-in-law or whatever. Come on right now." I'm like, "Okay, whatever. Who's it?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Mike Felipe." And I'm like, "Oh, he's just the third ranked guy in the country at the time, right?" Like, I had no idea. I'm like,
Yes.
"Oh, pretty cool, right?" Like,
Yeah.
I was gonna have him on the podcast, and it was kind of neat because obviously in Pennsylvania he's well known, right?
Yeah.
And, that was cool. So, man, we're definitely going to get into what happened this past week for you and what's coming forward. And I do definitely want to talk about that. But I know there's a lot of people that have helped shape you into becoming who you are today. I mean, who are some of the coaches and drilling partners that have really, kind of helped you accomplish your goals? Have kind of maybe you've looked up to and said, man, because of them, I'm here now.
Yeah, definitely number one's my dad. I mean, he's the man, right? Pretty much every decision he makes is for my brother, my mom, my family, and I. He's focused on us. He doesn't really do much for himself. He's all about us and all about making us the best we can be. So like I said, every practice I'm at, he's at. He's on the same schedule as me, and that's pretty tough to do. He could be doing a lot of other things, than helping my brother and I every single day, and obviously all my partners and stuff. But yeah, definitely number one's my dad. He's the man. Like I said, he gives 100% of his time to my brother and I. But obviously my other coaches as well. I have my uncle who's there pretty much every single practice. He's there, trying to go on all the trips and stuff. So definitely give a shout out to him, and my Young Guns coaches, Coach Jody and John Strittmatter. Awesome guys. And then I'll give a shout out to my partners as well. We got my college guys, Coach Ely and Coach Howard. All my partners. I got so many to name. But and I want to shout out also to my strength coach, Coach Johnny Miller. So
That's awesome.
and my dad's number one.
Yeah.
He helps me so much.
Who are some of the drilling partners that you drill with that have really helped you get to the next level?
Yeah, so obviously, I drove my part with my brother every single day, down in the basement. We're drilling every day, working on things. We have our goes, but we're drilling every single day. But I have a bunch of guys I drill with. So obviously, Mason Gibson's a little bit bigger. but I get my goes in with him. Devin Magro's a little bit bigger. We used to be the same size. He got a little bigger now, but he's an upcoming stud, 9th grader next year. I wrestle with Sam Herring. Obviously, he moved up from Tennessee. Jackson Butler, Owen McMullen, some of the guys I mentioned, but they're all a bunch of studs, and they're really coming onto the scene as well, getting really successful. So
I had the honor of talking to Sam. He welcomed me on his show when he was still doing that a lot. I know as he and Jude have gotten older, it's tough because of college requirements and high school and stuff. So I haven't seen them as much on there, but yeah, he definitely took Tennessee by storm, and I know he's up there, and then training with you has got to be a blessing.
Yeah, it has. So some of my partners will actually be going out to Kids Nationals next weekend. Obviously, my brother's going. Owen McMullen, still a schoolboy, so he's going. And then one of my partners that I forgot to mention was Tommy Verrett. Recently moved in to McCourt, stud, and he'll be looking to win national titles as well. So
yeah, Mason Gibson, any good?
Oh man, he's a freak, man. He's such a, I don't even know how to describe him. I mean, he's a really tough dude. Yeah. Really.
So listen, what did it feel like grabbing that American flag and running it around? I used that as your picture you saw on the post I made. What was that feeling like?
I mean, I've dreamed about it ever since I was like 7 years old. You know, I saw some of my idols do it, you know, run the flag around, and I've talked about it. You know, I visualized it so much, you know, from 7 years old till now. And so it was just crazy. I remembered saying in my head over and over, stars in the right hand, you know, because you don't want to hold it wrong. But, you know, it's a dream come true once I got it. Made sure to have the stars in my right hand. So it was right. But, yeah, it was crazy running it around. So when I did it in freestyle, I was like, I have to do that again. It was just amazing feeling, and just so cool to see, you know, one of your big goals come true. So then Greco, I got to do it again. So that was pretty awesome. But now I want to do it again, hopefully 2 more times in Budapest. So
yeah, because now you go to the Worlds, right?
Yeah, now at the Worlds.
So Pan Am, for people who don't know, that's kind of the Pan Americans, right? So you have all the Americas.
So it is North and South America, all those countries, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Dominican Republic. I don't know, there's a bunch down all the little islands and stuff. But
yeah, and obviously there's all everybody else is having their version of Pan Am.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the regionals, just like, you know, the get ready for Worlds tournament, I guess.
Yeah, so I guess
European championships.
Districts is qualifying, right? Districts.
Yeah.
And then Pan Am is regional, and the Worlds is states, right?
And then Worlds is it's a big show. Yes.
So, man, talk about. Obviously, you've been preparing to qualify for Pan Ams, and then finally qualifying. That was a step, right?
Yeah.
And then talk about your experience down in Mexico City.
Yeah, so like you said, qualifying was huge. In Wisconsin Dells was the World Team Trials. That was a grinder tournament, 3 days straight of scratch weight, because I wrestled Greco. So I wrestled Greco. That was all in 1 day, and then freestyle was a 2-day. But that was a grind, you know, having to maybe shed a few pounds at night to make sure I'm making weight the next day. But that was a really fun tournament. Got a lot of matches in 3 days. And obviously wrestled good enough to make the team. But the experience in Mexico it took me by surprise a little. Obviously I knew it was going to be cool, but it was kind of like a Olympic village where all the athletes stay in the same you know, realm area, same resort it was in Mexico. And it was really cool to see how they cut weight and see how their diets are, and to just learn from them and you know, see what they're doing as well. But I mean, it was a pretty interesting experience. No one spoke English at all, not even the resort workers. So that was an experience in itself. My dad and I, the last night celebrating the titles, actually ordered a pizza on Google Translator, which was also pretty fun. But just crazy stories like that was pretty cool. And the resort was nice too. So that was a plus.
Was that your first time competing out of the country?
Yeah, it was. It was the first time.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to have many, many more like that. But
yeah,
what was your? Obviously, winning has got to be the number one thing. But besides taking home the gold in both freestyle and Greco. What was maybe your favorite moment, or did you finally get your dad to cry? I mean, have you accomplished that yet?
No, he's not too much of like a cry or anything. But it was really cool hanging out with him. I hung out with him the whole week. We went out to the pool. That was nice to go out to the pool and stuff. But we had a few days off in between competition. So those were nice. But just hanging out with the team was really cool. Cheering on the other wrestlers was definitely an experience. Them other country fans are pretty hostile. They go pretty hard. So that was fun to get into it with them a little bit. But yeah, I'd say just hanging out with my dad and hanging out with the team was cool.
Were you able to make some friends from other countries where maybe you can get them to come in and train at the compound or Young Guns with you?
Man, so like I said, it was so hard because no one spoke English at all. And so, I mean, I took a picture or two with this one Mexico guy, but like we had no clue what was going on. Like he didn't know what I was saying. I had no clue what he was saying, but definitely was cool to see how those guys act.
That's awesome. So what's next? Budapest is next, right? We're moving on to Worlds next. So what's the process like from Pan Am's? Now at Pan Am's, you have to place top 3 to go to Worlds, or top 2, or
No, Pan Am's you just wrestle it out. Once you're qualified for Worlds, I mean you're in it. Yeah.
Now to qualify, you have to win, or you've got to.
No, so the World Team Trials, it's kind of different. So Pan Am's, it's your average of what you place in Greco and freestyle. That's on the Pan Am team. But Worlds is straight up who won each division. It doesn't matter, no average. So I mean, a little bit of a different team at some weights.
Wow. So only the gold medalists from the regionals will meet at Worlds.
So what I'm saying is that the World Team Trials, there was in Wisconsin, there was, if you take an average, say you got first in Greco, you got 10 points, and then you got fifth and freestyle, then you got 50 or 5 points.
Okay.
And whoever had the most points, like of their average added together, would go on the Pan Am team. So side Worlds is completely different. It was only the champs of the World Team Trials who go. So it's a different team from the Pan Ams to the Worlds.
Wow. So what's the process now? You competed at Pan Am's.
Yeah.
That one's in your pocket. You're done. Now what's your process and your training looking like up until Budapest?
So I'm here at the compound, working, like I said, all day long. And then at nights I head up to Coach Jody's house, training there. I think just getting my cardio as high as I can and being able to go as long as I can, being in a good place there, as in shape as I possibly can be. Obviously I'm eating as perfect, as clean as I can on my diet, and just trying to be in the best shape, the best position to win a double gold out in Budapest. I think that just get my reps in, training hard and being sharp these next few weeks is super important, and making sure my cut's healthy, not cutting weight wrong and then having a bad cut down there, things like that. So just making sure I'm doing every single thing right up until Worlds is going to be super important.
Does your dad do any sort of scouting on those guys or anything, or is he looking at the world teams? He probably keeps you from seeing those guys, right? Keeps you just training.
Yeah, I'm not big on watching my opponents. Obviously he may watch them just to see if we have to look out for anything, but there's no real way that we could really watch film at this point on who will be wrestling. I don't think the European Championships happen yet. I think they're this weekend. Maybe those matches will drop. I'm not sure, on YouTube or something. But I have watched the 2019 World Championships, pretty much every single 45 kilo freestyle and Greco match, the whole thing. And just seeing how those guys wrestle and picture and visualizing in my head how I'm going to handle it. So just seeing that stuff is really good. But no, I don't really do much scouting, but just being aware of if a guy has a really good this or that. But no, I try to wrestle my stuff.
When you went to Pan Am's, did you see anything different about the world's freestyle, the world's Greco, that maybe is different from what we do here in America?
Yeah, so they actually, countries warm up different from each other. I think they cut weight different from each other. There's a lot of difference there, and obviously the wrestling styles are different. Mexico, for instance, in freestyle, didn't really want to tie up that much. But, obviously meshing with other styles, it works more effective or less effective. But, just little things like that. Maybe countries don't want to tie up, or they don't want to go at a real high pace, or they want to tie you up and just stall it out. But there was definitely styles meshing and different strategies being used across different countries for sure.
Oh, really cool. And you got to be pretty cool. Get to travel to Mexico City. Now you get to travel to Budapest. Pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, so it was really cool to go down there. The process though of getting into the country was pretty tough, not being able to speak Spanish or anything with the passports and all that. But it was definitely cool to get down there and get some international experience.
Does little brother travel with you guys?
He was not able to Pan Am's, but he is going to Worlds. So.
And this is all good for him to see, right? It's like when I spoke to the Blade sisters about when she went to the Olympic trial runner-up, and she said her little sister there was watching. I mean, two things. She was like, wait a second, she gets to eat candy bars right now, and I don't.
Yeah.
But she was able to go back and say, hey, when you're here, look for this, look for that, watch this,
Yeah.
watch that. So the experience has to
So at the World Team Camp, everything I was learning, I was writing down in my notebook. And the past few weeks, I've been helping my brother out with it, seeing, showing him what I learned, and definitely giving everything that I learned to him so he can get it early. But I think it's definitely good for him to come and experience that before he's even in it. It'll benefit him.
Well, what are some of your long-term goals and dreams? I mean, we know you're not even in high school yet, and you're accomplishing big things, but you're obviously goal-driven. You said you vision stuff.
Yeah. So I got
What are some long-term goals and dreams you have?
some big things coming up. Obviously, the short-term one right now is Worlds next month. But I want to be the third ever 8th grade Super 32 high school state champ next year. I'll be at 106 pounds, so it's up 7 pounds from my weight at Worlds, so I'll be able to get big and then make the cut down again. But
Who are the other two?
it was Mason Gibson from PA and Ryan Crookham from PA.
Nice. When did Nick win it?
Nick
Usakis?
Uzakis, 9th, and won it this year, so I think it was 10th. So I don't think he won it in 8th, yeah. But and then after that, obviously, you want to be a 4-time high school undefeated state champ, be the best ever high school wrestler PA scene, and then obviously go to college and things. But in 2024 is the next Olympic cycle. I'll be a first-year junior, so I'll be super duper young. But my goal is definitely to go to the Olympic trials and try to make a team in 2024. I know a lot of people think, wow, that's impossible, and you're gonna have to wrestle guys like Spencer Lee and Gilman possibly if he's still wrestling and stuff. But I don't know. That's my big goal. 2024 Olympic team trials, and try to make an Olympic team as I believe it'll be like 17 or 18. And
look at the two young ladies that went all the way to runner-up.
Yep, that's super true. There's a lot, on the ladies' side that are doing it. I think Cal Snyder won when he was 19, so that was pretty cool. But if I do, reach my goal and make it in 2024, I would be the youngest male ever to make the wrestling Olympic team.
Oh, and I'll be like walking around in my walker, and I'll be like, I had that guy on.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I know that guy, right? As far as obviously your family is deeply rooted into wrestling, what does it mean to you to be able to come back and give back to the sport?
Yeah, so it's really cool. I actually been doing some camps to fundraise for my Budapest trip. It's really cool to help the little guys out. The next generation's only going to be better. I think that wrestling keeps evolving as we get older, and so when I'm older, it's going to be cool to come back and help the guys back around my town and back around my area, and definitely going to try to take over the compound. I'm sure my dad will he'll give back to us, and he'll be done probably when I'm out of college. So that'll be cool to take over that, and then just giving back and helping out. I don't really know what my plans are now, but possibly a college coach and do things like that. But definitely going to be cool when I'm older to help out the little guys. And obviously I still am today, trying to do clinics and helping out my brother every single day. So
really cool. And now what's a better moment, you winning or watching him win?
That's tough. I think it hasn't really been determined yet, because when he makes his world team, it's going to be soon. Obviously, I think when he's a first year cadet, he's going to make a world team about 3 or 4 years. But I don't know. Seeing him win his first state title a few years back was pretty special. But I think it's close. I think obviously, you love winning yourself, but seeing someone that you help so dearly and you care for so dearly, I think that's pretty cool too.
It's neat to ask. Like, I've had twins on before, like the Rivera
Yeah.
twins that are at Campbell,
Yeah.
and they prefer to watch each other win. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's definitely close. I mean, obviously you want yourself to win, but seeing, your practice partner, your brother win is pretty awesome.
Was he the first text, first call? Was he?
Oh yeah, definitely. Once I got off the mat, obviously I talked to my dad and teammates, coaches, but the first call was my mom and my brother.
That's cool. Now,
They were watching at home.
Mom was crying.
I think she did. Yeah. Yeah, mom was there.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yes.
Well, that's cool, man. All right. Well, you ready for these 10 questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, freestyle or Greco?
Freestyle, but not by too much of a margin. I started liking Greco a lot this year.
And by the way, you won it, right? I should put on for all you people over 40, put your glasses on. All right. Steak and potatoes or chicken and rice?
Steak and potatoes, baked potatoes. So,
yeah. What do you think is more prestigious, Fargo or 32?
That's really close, actually. Obviously, they're different styles, so I'd probably go Super 32 because it's folk style for college and stuff.
Nice. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles. We have a waffle maker here at home.
Now, do you like just straight up waffles, or do you put like chocolate chips and things?
Normally just straight up waffles with the syrup.
Or maybe like cook the bacon into it.
Never tried that, but that sounds good.
You'll be doing it tomorrow morning.
After Worlds, for sure.
Afterwards, gut wrench or leg lace?
Leg lace. Leg lace.
Now you're in PA, so Philly cheese or the Wawa hoagie?
So that's both more Eastern things, but I'd probably go with the Wawa hoagie.
We have Wawas down here now, and I'm so happy.
Yeah.
They're unbelievable. So you're on the other side. You'd probably be like the Pittsburgh. What do they have? They have like the.
I mean, there's a lot of sheets here. Those are compared to Wawas. They're like gas stations. But I mean,
what's the big thing? And stuff like some type of sausage, right? Like they do in the streets.
There's a lot of like Bassett Brothers sandwiches, stuff like that.
Manny is like going to Gino's in Philly, right?
Yeah.
All right, head and arm or suplex?
Suplex.
Wings or burgers?
Man, that one. I probably
Huh?
that's close right there, but probably wings.
Yeah, I like them too. Ankle pick or high C?
Ankle pick.
All right, and last but not least, Frosted Flakes or Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Man, you can eat it with milk, without milk, snack in a cup.
Exactly. It's number one. It has to be.
I love it, man. Hey, this has been Sheets and Wawa comparable. Oh yeah. Okay, so Bill the Cracker. I hope I said that right, Bill. I apologize.
Yeah.
He said Sheets and Wawa comparable.
I mean, Sheets is definitely really nice, and I mean, I'm probably biased because I go there almost daily, so I think they're comparable. But I give Sheets a slight edge, being from Western PA.
Of course. Yeah. So I was up there, I don't know, 20 years ago when my wife was in college down in Philly, and then I experienced the Wawa love, right?
Yes.
And I saw them start to open up down here. Nobody knew what they were, but I was like, I know what they are. Of course, when I was up there 20 years ago, the Wawas were just you'd walk into like this crappy gas station, but then they'd have these amazing sandwiches. Now they've grown to where obviously they're beautiful gas stations.
Yeah.
And they look great. Well, hey, man, this has been an absolute honor, man. I can't say enough. Thank you so much for coming on
Thank you.
keep kicking butt, man. Keep doing big things. I hope one day I get to meet you and shake your hand and what do the kids do now? Get a selfie? Maybe I get a selfie with you, right? And we can go on from there. But if I'm ever up in the Northeast, man, I'll look you up so I can come by and say hello.
Absolutely, man. But thank you once again. Really appreciate it, and I hope to bring home 2 golds for us back here in the USA.
Love it. Do it. And watch the new Bassett Brother YouTube.
Yes, the Bassett Brothers YouTube, maybe the Bassett Brothers Wrestling channel or something. Make sure.
Yeah, being Bo Bassett, you'll find a lot of videos. All right, boss man, you have a good night, and keep doing big things. And man, good luck on the double gold thing. And Anita Bray just said this is awesome. Matt Gallatin said kick ass, Bo. And then we talked about sheets. I'm sure more would come, but we're peacing out. So peace.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.